Good evening. Welcome to the Holy Spirit Blog Talk Radio Show. I'm your host, Minister G.L. Hart, and I thank you all for tuning in. We have a wonderful show scheduled for you tonight. And this show is simply titled, Why Real Men Pray. A wonderful subject that was really on my mind this entire weekend, dealing with men, and real men, that is, because no longer do you don't even see anything on social media about meditation, about prayer life, about standing for God on any level. All you see is a bunch of information dealing with, we're the first black to do this, we're the first black to do that, and all that's wonderful, to have all that information and resource. But you got to understand, people, that we are brought here, we were sent here by God, or by a supreme being, however you want to call it, to fulfill our purpose and His plan while on this planet. We're not here to get a 9 to 5 and work and get a dog, a cat, and a wife, and marry a husband and live happily ever after. All that stuff that man has fulfilled you with to distract you from your purpose. Many people don't even fulfill their purpose because they're so busy seeking the things of this world. And Scripture tells us that not to be of this world. You're in this world, but you ain't got to be of it. You don't have to follow the leader and do everything that the man tells you to do. So we're going to be talking about that in just a moment, and we're going to talk in the first hour about this new age religion and how people are so in the conscious world. They're so conscious about life and this world, but at the same time, people are still living this demonic lifestyle, a lifestyle that was actually developed by man. And black folks, who are the most religious people on this planet, and most spiritual people on this planet, have just given up on God and decided to live according to what the Europeans have taught us. And that's a whole another subject, but I'm gonna get into that as well. Hey guys, don't forget that in January, upcoming next month, we're going to be doing our conference, the Black Dollars Matter continued conference, because our Black Dollars Matter is about a life-changing event. It's not about Christmas or certain holidays. Black Dollars Matter is 365 days a year. And the subtitle of this conference is called It's a Family Affair. And we're talking about unifying families and neighborhoods and communities to be strong as they once were back in Wilmington and back in Tulsa, Oklahoma, Atlanta, all over this wonderful planet. We had people, even on the West Coast, we had people of color, black folk thriving. But only when they were connected with who? With God. And no longer do you see that. You see people who are individuals now, or in cliques, trying to figure out why they don't have much success as they did once before. And that's only because you have separated yourself, again, as the Europeans have taught you. The Europeans have a mindset, every man for himself. And that has now been transferred over to the people of Africa. And when I mean Africa, I mean African Americans, I mean everybody of color. You have developed that mindset, even in your walk with God. So we're going to be doing this wonderful conference January 24th at the JS Venue Plus. It's in Morrow, Georgia, and we'll give you more details on that as they transpire. We have some wonderful people that are going to be talking about owning a business. Our brother Press Lane will be there. He's the owner of PDK Beauty Supply. Him and his wife Diana Lane will be talking about how to start your own business, as well as my wonderful sister KC Robinson of KC Robinson Beauty Salon. Wonderful sister, well-renowned beauty stylist, out of Detroit, Michigan, will be coming in and teaching us and talking about owning a business as well. As Melissa Sloan, she will be there too from United Healthcare Services, and she'll be talking about getting health insurance, because that's important too. Because a lot of us, including myself for a while, don't have life insurance, not life insurance, but health insurance, with no insurance, period. And no longer can we have this life of just going around not being insured, and as we see people are dying, you know, as young as 9 years old, 8 years old, and then when you die, that cost really affects the family, and we want to make sure people are covered, insured for that matter. So again, Miss Melissa Sloan, who attended our November conference, will be at this conference as well. And so we hope you all attend. There will be free food and free drinks. And again, it's going to be on the Eventbrite website. And we're not asking for a fee. We're not charging you anything to be a part of this, but we are asking for donations to help off the cost of some of the things that we're doing and some of the people we're having to bring in, as far as transportation, the audio, the video, the graphics, and as well. So these are people in their profession, and we have to honor that and certainly support them as well in their profession. I'm going to take this quick commercial break, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to talk about why men ought to pray, dealing with this issue. And we're going to start off again talking about this new society. I'll be back in just a moment. All right, we're back, and again, we're talking about why men should pray. When you think about men of prayer, praying men in today's society, especially being a man of prayer, a person who prays, can be somewhat uncool. It's uncool to pray, and it makes you look weak as a praying man, because you know, as the mindset now is a man's got to do what a man's got to do, and so often now when it comes to prayer, having a prayer life of any sort, you're talking about this being individual thing. Men are hard. Men are supposed to be strong. You know, with pride and boastfulness, your chest puffed up. And this New Age religion what most people don't know is that's a religion. even when you don't pray, you're practicing a religious, and it's called humanism. And this bishop or priest, whatever, I think he's at Harvard University. He's over the theological seminary over there at Harvard, and this new humanism. What it says, people, is I am God. I don't need God. I'm nice. I'm kind. I go to work. I pay taxes. So why should I pray? That's religion. that is a cult, and that's a religion, and that's how shameful as it is. Black folk being the most spiritual people on the planet and religious. That's where black folks have become now. Even the ones who do attend the church, because most people go to church just to look good, just to walk into your job or whatever and say, yeah, I took the family to church, this Sunday, we had a good time, and so on and so forth. And what about a shame that is? And the fact that man now doesn't want to have anybody in control of their lives, especially of God. But yet the same man will abide laws. He will pay taxes as ordered, even with the holidays right now. White supremacy says, be happy. It's Christmas. Smile. It's the holiday season. And then come January, get back to work. That's all a God mindset, that you're being controlled to be happy. Why can't Christmas be every day? Why can't people be joyful and happy every day? I'm not talking about taking days off. I'm saying, why can't you have that type of spirit every day when you are a free people? Why are you told when to be happy, when to celebrate Mother's Day, Valentine's Day, Easter, Memorial Day, 4th of July? You are controlled by a system, by a worldly system, and again, the Bible tells you, be not of this world. But if you have made this world your God, and you have to come to the reality. That's really what it is. You have made the world your God, and no longer do you need a supreme faith or a supreme being. You're comfortable in that setting. Men are so introverted, but yet they're supposed to be strong, no emotions. The only time a man can have an emotion is if he's playing a video game, or if some sport activity is on and his team is losing. That's the only time men can really have emotions. In the Christian and the conscious community, you are God, and you control your destiny. Yet come Monday, that same conscious community, what do for the most part? You go back to that white job, and you abide by those rules. You clock in on time, and you leave on time. And whatever your assignment is of that day, you do it. And you go back home, and you become this black pro activist revolutionary on Facebook. Again, that is worshiping a God. You're creating gods in your life that the God, the Creator, never intended for you to have, but you have done this so. And you have the illusion of inclusion, believing that you have a free will and you have control of your life, and you don't. You don't. You don't walk into a Walmart and say, hey, I'm a God. I can take what I want to take. I'm going to walk in here and I'm going to grab this stuff off the shelves, and I'm going to put it in, and I'm going to go home with it. And I dare somebody say something to me. You don't do that. You do like everybody else. You get in that line, you pay for it. You abide by man's law. Man's law. And churches are filled between 60 and 80% with women, single and divorced, with children. While men are so focused on Sunday, not going to church, not worshiping God, not showing any kind of prayer life, getting ready for the football game, basketball game, or what have you on Sunday. Got your friends coming over. Oh, the Falcons are playing today. They got a 1 o'clock game. Well, I can't go to church this Sunday. I'll pray next Sunday. What a shame. But yet, men feel like by them paying the mortgage or the rent and all those things that they are the source of their families and not God. Again, people, this is the humanism I'm talking about. Humanism. People believing that they're doing what they're supposed to do. That somehow they are gods. Many men, especially, they marry or dating someone for long term, and they go to church. They go to church on holidays or what have you. But yet these same men where they at on Thursday nights or Monday nights in strip clubs, sport bars, and why? Because they believe they're entitled to it. And as most black folks have come up with that dumb saying, God knows my heart. God don't even know you. How can a God know your heart when you're living in a demonic state? Don't God know your heart? And most women, they go by this because the rent's paid. They got the Mercedes Benz outside. They got their nice little house in the suburbia. So, he gonna be a man. Man gonna do what he gonna do. All because, again, she wants what she wants. She wants that life of marriage, and now she looks good. Again, humanism, individualism, and no God. Now, the late Dr. Myles Munroe has a wonderful book. And the book is called Rediscovering Kingdom Worship, The Purpose and Power of Praise and Worship. And a wonderful book by Dr. Myles Munroe. And I love what he talked about in the beginning of the book. He talked about the laws of nature and the environment. And what he was saying is, when God created the earth, before he created man, he put everything in it that man would need to survive on this planet. Even diseases that these scientists haven't created yet, because most diseases are created by scientists. Let's be honest. God said, I already know what they're going to do to you. But if you eat from a seeded plant and fruit, you shall be healed. What an awesome God that is, man. So he creates man last, puts man in this environment, in this earth called, in this planet. And then all man has to do is subdue it. He has to till the land and subdue it. Just take care of it. God said, here's the keys. You ain't done anything to earn it, but I'm going to give it to you anyway. So here you go. So now, as man evolves and other men come on this planet, these men are evil. These men go against the laws of nature, the laws of the environment, and the laws of God. They want to be God. So what they do is they create everything backwards. Anytime you want to understand a European mindset, reverse it. If they say green, you know it's blue. If they say front, you know it's back. Very simple. It's not rocket science. It's not even has to be debatable. And yet man and the people of God have decided to go along to get along with the last man created on earth, with his mindset of destroying the planet, polluting the planet, the air, the land, the water, everything that God created. This man decided he's going to kill it all. And you sit there in those pews on Sunday clapping your hands and, oh, God is this, and not defending any of this thing that God gave to you first and foremost, because God told you to till this land. He told you to subdue it and have dominion over it. Didn't tell them that. He told you that. And what am I ashamed of is that you decided, they might kill me. And not knowing that no weapon formed against you shall ever prosper. That's in his word. That's in his word. And I know a lot of people don't believe in the Bible, unfortunately. And I can't help that. But most of the Bible, as we know, came from those stones in Kemet, plagiarized and placed in the Bible. Some things in the Bible were written to introduce a new man. We know that. We know this to be true. But yet, if you don't know it, then you need to study your history and learn about Kemet, ancient Egypt. YouTube Dr. Ben, Dr. John Henry Clark, Dr. Ivan Van Sertima. Read a book by Sheikh Anta Diop and learn about your true history. And then you'll know who you are. Because the first thing man wants to do is to hide who you are, so you cannot see yourself and see God in you. Because when you see the mirror, when you look at the mirror, Michael Jackson had that song "Man in the Mirror." When you look at the mirror, you ought to see a reflection of God. You shouldn't see you. You should see the God in you, and that light that should be shining in you. And what about the shame is people have lost that light because they become of the world, afraid to fight for righteousness and for the injustice, as our great Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. did, Brother Malcolm X did, Medgar Evers did, and so many other great leaders did. Rosa Parks, Harriet Tubman, Marcus Garvey, E.W. Du Bois. All these people, man, fought for injustice for you and me. And now so many young folks today have no clue who the hell I'm talking about. And what's really sad, when you try to enlighten them, they laugh. Why do you think in most states now they're trying to abolish any type of black history in the history books? Because if you don't know who the hell you are, where you came from, you'll have to abide by the laws of man. And you know, laws are only created to oppress you, the black man. Why in the hell would any government have over 5,000-10,000 laws on the books? Unless they want to oppress someone and control someone. And you have become a defeated people because you have no prayer life. There's no God in you. And again, what a mighty shame that is. I'm going to take this break and I'm going to come back and I'm going to lay down the foundation of having a prayer life and what it means to have a prayer life. I'm going to take this break and I'll be back in just a moment. All right, we're back. And again, why men ought to pray is the subject that we're talking about. Praying men, as I said earlier, men have been praying since the beginning of time. Even the first Hebrews in Canaan, God separated these men because these were praying men. You gotta know this stuff, people. These men were the first Jews in Africa, in Ethiopia, and that region, and they were praying men. And that's all they did. They prayed, gave thanks to God, the earth, the universe, interceding for the people living in the universe. Even Akhenaten introduced us to the one God system. One God, one race, and one love is what we came out of. Every ethnicity, every race on this planet came through the black woman who God placed in Africa. This is all scientific proof. Don't let people think because they come from China, Indonesia, or Japan that there's something different. They came to the black woman. The black woman is the only species on the planet with her DNA is so complex that even scientists haven't figured out why. Two black people can create a white baby. Two black people can create a what they call a Hispanic baby, which there's no such thing as Hispanic. That's a whole another subject. Now everybody have their own religion that God never gave them. Buddhism, Hinduism, Islam, Baptist, Pentecostal, you name it. Everybody has come on this planet and adopted a man's religious beliefs. And now, truth is, the religion has overthrown God. Because it's religion first and God second. Look at Abraham in the Bible. He was a praying man. Mind you, Abraham came from a wealthy family. Abraham didn't need to work. But yet, as he was in the field plowing, God spoke to him. And what did God tell Abraham? He told Abraham to leave his land. Now mind you, Abraham was the eldest, so he would have been the heir of his father's land and cattle and mansion.
90 seconds.
But yet, because he was faithful, Abraham left his family, even his wife initially, and went to a strange land. He had nowhere where he was going, but he was a praying man, a man of God, real man. And as you know the story of Abraham, he prospered. But everywhere Abraham went, what did he do? He built an altar in honor.
60 seconds.
He built an altar in honor of God, giving God thanks and praises for all his victories. Abraham was a real man. You look at Moses going up on the mountain, and when the folks are down there creating all these idols, Moses is interceding with prayer, asking God to spare their lives. Even, I'm going to go back to Abraham real quick, because even when Abraham and Lot went to Sodom and Gomorrah, and when God was about to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah, Abraham was ordered to go and get Lot out of Sodom and Gomorrah before God destroyed it.
10 seconds.
And Abraham's prayer could have saved Sodom and Gomorrah if he prayed for that. But knowing that it was out of the will of God, God destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. Look at Job, righteous man, upstanding man, had no faults, had riches, had mansions and homes, and 10 children, beautiful wife, and God took all that from him, testing him. And no matter what happened, even when Moses' wife, when Job's wife told him, "Man, won't you just curse God and die?" Job never gave up hope, and knowing that the God that he served is a God of mercy, and through Job's faithfulness, he was restored with a new wife and 10 more children, and more land than he ever had. And even when his own friends were sitting there saying, well, maybe you did something. What you do? What you do to get God? And he had done nothing. Abraham stood in the midst, knowing that as he say, a man is only a few days of trouble. And what that means is you're going to have some tough days, man. You're going to have days where things aren't going your way. You're going to lose a lot of things in your lifetime. But the prayers of a righteous man availeth much. Jesus even told you, if you follow me, you know, you're going to be subject to all type of harshness, maybe even death, if you pick up that cross. And now man is, and man to me has decided, I don't want all that. I want the easy street. I want the fame. I want all the recognition. But I'm not trying to follow no Jesus. I'm not trying to follow anybody who stands for righteousness and injustice, because that means I must suffer. Even Nehemiah, who was a governor, and he was assigned to go back to Judah and build the wall and restore that kingdom. Even when the people and the governors, when he was gone, were trying to overtax the people, and they taxed them and stole their land and made them buy it back. Even Nehemiah, he could have hung with the rest of those fools and said, hey, you know, it's the government. It is what it is. But because he was a righteous man, he even told them, listen, after he made them give their stuff back and pay them 7 times what they stole, even Nehemiah said, listen, any man after this that goes back on his word, I shake off the dust, meaning I wash my hands of you and allow God to deal with you. Praying men are needed in this society today. Doesn't mean you're a punk. Doesn't mean you're soft. Women always say, I want a God-fearing man. I saw a girl on Facebook posting that all she wanted was a man who loved her and loved God. But are you truthful? Because right behind it, you'll turn around and you'll show, you know, a man's, 5 different men, and ladies, which one do you want? And most of the time, it's a man that got money, fame, and fortune. And hopefully he's good in bed. And yet this praying man doesn't make the cut. He's irrelevant in today's society. And again, what a shame that is. What a shame that you come thus far. All these people that have paved the way, each step of the way, for us to either integrate into schools, into colleges, on jobs, eat at a lunch counter, died. They were praying warriors, all of them, interceding. And now here you are in 2015 said, well, there ain't that much racism. It's because you're in denial. And you are in the illusion of the inclusion, as if you're part of this universe, and you're not. That's why you see so many major corporations that may have 1 or 2 black person in the corporation, and the rest are either Asian, maybe Hispanic, but rarely do you see people of color in major corporations today. And even if they are, if you read an interview, because I see few here and there, they never give God glory. They always talk about how they don't. Matter of fact, they don't even talk about their upbringing. They just talk about, how they went to Harvard, fresh out of Yale and Princeton and grad school, and all these things about, again, individualism, humanism, and no prayer life. What prayer does is prayer activates that thing inside of you. It releases all the spiritual history of your ancestors out of you. I'm talking prayer meditation as well. When you're meditating on the things of God, your mind is clear. You are completely focused, and all the energy that you need to persevere. And whatever assignment that God gives you, it shall manifest through inwardly. Because what it does, it opens up your mind as far as giving you the tunnel vision to see clearly that path you need to take. Most people are just a moment away from the victory because they have not included prayer life. They may have all the great savvy of business and all that, and education wise, and they know all the branding and all the steps of how to create a great business. But yet that one thing, that prayer life, is the things that really slows them down into becoming a global entity. A global entity for the kingdom of God. Listen to me real quick. We know Oprah's doing her thing. And I love Oprah just like anybody else. But Oprah can't represent God in this world because of all the forces of the enemy that she's surrounded with. All the people that are helping her are people who don't believe in God. I'm gonna tell you something surprisingly. They don't even know Oprah's God. They know their God. And their God says, no. Give her everything she wants, but do not let her do the things of God in this world. She can do a few things here, a few things there, buy some books in schools in Africa, but do not uplift your people and the people of God to a higher level, and do not bring them as one on a higher level. Because with that kind of success, they're either going to kill you physically, or they'll do it in the media as they're doing with our brother Bill Cosby. I'm not condoning anything that may not have transpired with Bill Cosby, but what I'm saying is that's character assassination. And if they don't kill you physically, they're going to destroy you one way or another if you are a people of God. But truth is, we really have no choice. You either die worshiping a devil, or die worshiping God. And I choose the latter. Because you're going to die anyway. As Farrakhan says, you're going to die anyway. So you might as well die for righteousness rather than for foolishness of this world. Men ought to pray fervently, consistently, daily. But what prayer does is activate you into action. It's great to march and all those types of things, but prayer activates. It moves you it moves you to a higher playing field that the world cannot touch you. And if everybody worked on one accord in that mindset, in that spiritual realm, then we defeat the enemy. We destroy the enemy completely and forever. I want to bring this to you tonight because people don't talk about prayer no more. And then if you do, they try to connect prayer with religion, and it has nothing to do with one another. Folk been praying way before there was any religion involved, and prayer has nothing to do with religion. That's you wanting to conform to this world. And that's a satanic mindset. I don't need prayer because I'm God. I can do whatever I want to do. And in actuality, you can't do a damn thing but follow man's law and man's rules. And that makes you a disciple of Satan. Think about it. I want to thank you all for tuning in. I hope you all were inspired by this. And I want to keep it as simple as possible. I didn't want to get too deep into scriptures and all those things and confuse people. But I wanted you to understand, man, that what you see going on in 2015, it's going to be twice that in 2016. Let's not wait to things that happen to try to pray and then crying and telling God, you don't help us. So you just want to pray and things happen instantly? Marvin Sapp had a song said pray in advance. Praise him in advance. You got to thank God for it, people. You got to thank God for it for now, for your hardships and for your victories. You got to praise him now. And as we always say in parting, to love yourselves is to know yourselves. And to know yourselves comes by spending time with God. We love you. We'll see you on the other side. Peace and God bless.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.